Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam. Thank you for joining for today's video, which is 30 days of sketches, and we are on day 7. We're almost at the third mark. So today's sketch has been created by Karen Leahy, which is the lovely Karen, my lovely friend. She's such a lovely lady, and I'm so fortunate to be friends with her. And I'm super excited that she too, like Lisa and Rach, has designed a sketch for this series. And what is even more cool is that all three of them are on the same page. I just think that's amazing. So Karen is known as Dolly, and her sort of scrappy alter ego, if you like, is Scrap Dolly. So you could find her on Instagram, etc. And she's also started her YouTube channel, which is super exciting. I will link that down below for you. Just go over and give her some scrappy love. Press the like button and subscribe over at her channel because she is so good at videos. But she is still, as I was, as every YouTuber was, so nervous. So show her some scrappy love over there, and I know she would appreciate it. She's an awesome scrapbooker. She is on the design team for the Flare Hut, and yeah, she is brilliant. So super excited to be scrapping with a Scrap Dolly sketch today. And as you can see, it's Dolly's Dreamings is her email address as well. So yeah, it's all Dolly. Um, we know her as Karen as well. So it's Karen Leahy and Scrap Dolly. So, enough chatting. This is the lovely sketch, and I love this sketch. I would call this sketch traditionally Karen because she has definitely got a scrappy style, and I love it. So I'm excited to try to try and do a Karen layout. I don't know whether I will. I'm very much more is more, colour. Karen is. She says she's not more is more, but I would say she's sort of in the middle. But she's definitely not all about all the bright colours, even though she does it superbly when I've challenged her to do it. So we've got one landscape photo and sort of this vertical piece down here with this little element here, some banners and flags, and then up here as well. This, of course, is perfect for any flare. I thought it would be really good to use a collection I know Karen loves, and it's Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Seas, which is, of course, designed by the lovely Katie Petite. So, super happy to be using this collection for a Karen sketch. I have had a play around, had a think about what we want to do, and I've even got some stamps out. So, I've got this stamp, which is Nested Chevron from Pink Fresh Studio, and I love this stamp. So it's a complete stamp, or you can take out the pieces and just use one of them, which I think is just so cool. So cool. I remember seeing somebody use it. It may well have been Christina. I'm not 100% sure. And it was like, I need that. So eBay, here we come, or whoever it was. So yeah, that is the nested chevron, and as you can see, this is what it does. And I thought it's perfect for this. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had to use this sketch. There was no doubt about it. And then I've also got one of these Ultimate Grunge CMS 075 Tim Holtz stamps from Stampers Anonymous. And you've got these, how many? 7 stamps. I thought this one might be kind of cool because June is quite big here, and the photo I'm scrapping is from June. But we could use something else as well, maybe this or this, we'll see. But I do love the idea of the date. Don't know why, do you know when you just get hone in on one? I love this brick as well, this brick is gorgeous. But just look at the detail in those stamps. These are from Hey Little Magpie. I love that they come on binders as well. I have only got one other set of this. Don't get me wrong, I would love them all, but they are on the expensive side. Sorry, you probably can't hear me then. They are on the expensive side, but their quality is absolutely fabulous. So it's that whole thing, isn't it? You pay for what you get and so on. So yeah, that is the plan. Let's get cracking. Bear with me 1 minute whilst we trim off these. So I'm actually using the basics paper again. So we've got nautical red, shoreline, marine blue, silt grey. So it's them and them. I did debate using this side, but it's a little bit too dark. So I'm going to matte it on that. Although, yeah, we're going to do that. So I have trimmed that paper, and I've also just stuck it on. Just kind of went ahead without pressing record again. Excuse me. So the picture that I am documenting, I have done one similar to this, but I'm doing sort of 2 albums, so I wanted it in that one as well. It may well even be one that I end up framing. We shall see. I've had a little play. You can see here I've got some flair from the Flair Hut. We're still dotty about flair. And then I've got some scraps. I love this library card. How nice is that? Then we've also got these. This is from the journal cards as well. And I'm going to use a frame. I do love a frame. So first things first, let's get our photo into its frame. I think a frame is just like the perfect starting point, because especially simple vintage frames, because you just get so much detail in that one little frame. So I am a big fan of the frames. I just don't use them as much as I would like. Doesn't stop me getting them, but okay, so there is our frame. Quick, easy, simple. This is the ship that Kathy and I went on, and this is when we were in port. Obviously, I didn't jump off the ship to take the photo, and I just love the photo. It's not been edited or anything. I could edit the sky, but I decided not to. This is all like the pools and entertainment on this top deck, and it was such a special time. It really was. I'm going to use this as our pattern piece. So you can see we've got a pattern paper behind the photo, and it looks like it's matted, hence the frame. And then there's another one here as well. And then this card is what inspired me to cut this. So that's the way we're going. Not saying that's going to be like the only wordy phrase on there, but that is going to be one of the big pieces. So now I need to decide whether we go like this or whether we go like that. And I think we're actually going to go underneath. Let's have a bit of colour. A bit of busyness behind the photo, because I love this paper. And it's actually the same paper, it's just both sides of it. Okay, so this one is just under 4 inches. And this one is, what's this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, just over 4.5 inches. So very different. Oopsie daisy. Didn't want to stick that there. There we go. So that's going to sit there. And what I'm going to do is tuck the library card in there. So let's put tape on there. And let's see where we want this to go based on the photo. So our photo is sort of going to go like this. So I want that to go somewhere there. Like so. I have created a few layouts with this collection. It is superb. I absolutely love it. It's just perfect collection. I just love it. I'm loving it. Now, I have tried, I know I've been having sound issues for some reason. I know I've always had not perfect sound, and I don't know why, because I've invested in quite an expensive microphone. I've got it set up, but hey, it's still not great. There isn't an awful lot much more I can do without buying a new microphone, which I will happily do if that's what it takes. But I have had a fiddle with it, moved it around, got it literally, it's like, where's my finger? There. It's literally like almost touching my finger. So it is like in my line of vision for creating, but it does work. So let me know. I hope this is better. I hope it's better. Now what I'm also thinking is of having an additional pattern, just because I've got to go a little bit rogue, can't let the rogue down, and having this sort of tucked in here. So let's get a bit of tape on that. So not much, just a teeny tiny bit, sort of like that. And then I was going to do the same down here, but I'm not sure if we need it now. So I've just torn a bit of that off. No point putting all of that up there because you're not going to see it. So let's just rip that up because Adam forgot. And I'm just going to put that there. So as I say, it wasn't like a big, it was just that extra splash of pattern that I thought would really work. There we go. So I'm just sticking these corners down because I pulled it up. It goes a bit flappy. So I didn't want that to wind me up, basically. Now I'm going to use a couple of these. I'm going to put this one under here. And I did pull out a chipboard. What's a chipboard? A chipboard one, which I am going to layer on top of that chipboard. So it is going to be quite a chunky layout, just the way I like it. So that's sort of going to go there. I just thought it would be a nice touch to use this collection for Karen's sketch. Are you guys playing along with this series? It is so much fun. Christy works so hard on it, and all the sketch creators have done amazing things with the sketches. So this is an epoxy flare. I have used some of the Simple Stories stickers. So in the sticker book, you have a page with these circles in. These ones are a bit big, but you can use them and then just cut around. But I've used these ones as well. And all I've done is stuck them on white card, and then I have punched it out, basically. I did use some of the big ones as well, thinking about it, because the small ones are a little bit small. So none of them are perfect, but it definitely works. And of course, the Flare Hut, we do sell the epoxy stickers now. Super, super cheap, super affordable. So you can get all those scraps used. You can do what I've done here with the stickers. So much you can do with them. And it's so easy to do. All you need is a 1-inch punch, and off you go, basically. Simple as that. So there is... So there is our little cluster that we've got down here. We've got some chipboard, some cardstock, some ephemera, and then a couple of epoxy flare. And then I was thinking of adding this here as well, just because I love it. So what I'm going to do for that, because obviously we've got this layer of chipboard, I'm just going to layer some chipboard behind the chipboard. So by that, it's going to raise this bottom bit up to the right level. So then that just sits on there perfectly. And I won't actually need glue because it'll stick by the foam. So it's actually higher than the chipboard frame. So that has worked out perfectly. Now then, let's look at the rest of it. So I think this is near complete. It's not far. I do still have this piece, which I am going to put there. So let's do that now, actually. I think. Let's just check we don't want to add anything behind this. You know, just a little bit of detail. So we could... I think that's going to get lost on the paper, isn't it? I'm going to add it, just for that little bit of detail. I can't help myself. And then this is going to go roughly in the middle. I don't need to be exact. That's going to go there. So in terms of this, I think you will agree I've stuck to it quite closely, because we've got our two layers. I haven't put banners down here yet, maybe actually what we could do is use these. Let's see if we can do that. So we've got a red, a light blue, and let's have a grey, and see if we can create some sort of thing down here. Now, I did consider using some rub-ons and some film strips and tickets from 49er Market. Do you know the new ticket essentials? I'm sure you've all got them all, because nobody can live without them, from Katie. And obviously it will match quite well because all of this has been designed by Katie. But I've decided not to. A, because these are obviously going to coordinate perfectly as well. But B, I just didn't think we needed more colour. Whilst the colours will coordinate, you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. So we've got that little element down here in the form of the tickets there, which is, I quite like that. That's quite funky. They're not in the middle, but that's okay, because what I am going to do is add this here. So that's going to sort of detract from that. The sayings don't exactly match, but they do match generally, so I'm happy with that. Okay, let's grab our stamps. Now obviously you are going to need a big acrylic block or a stamp platform. Now I do have these actually, I forgot about these, so we'll just use this. This is like a 8 by 6 by 8 rather, 6 by 8 platform, acrylic block, whatever you want to call it, not a platform. Whereas this We Are Memory Keepers Precision Press is only 6 by 6, so I would have to squish my paper. These acrylic blocks are just from Do-Crafts. Do-Craft Creativity Essentials. You get a small one, a 1-inch square one, a 3-inch one. So you get 3-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch, and then 6 by 8. So let me pull this out and let's decide how we want it. So I think we'll probably just use these two. So if we picture this like this, obviously this is me, so they're going to come closer. I don't particularly want them touching though. So we could have 3. I'll tell you what, put them back. Let's have those 3. Okay, so that's going there. That's going there. So we could have this one, and then this small one. So let's have those there. And then I can roughly work out where we need it to go. So I am going to pop that there. And then this one, and then this one. It's so easy to use. This one could also be used as a photo corner quite easily. It's probably not the right angle for it, but embrace the wonk. Now, I have used these before. Not sure whether we did that here on YouTube or it was before YouTube. I've not used them much at all. I do need to get into using them more. So I am going to use Candied Apple. I think it's going to work. Let's wait and see, guys. And I only need to do it to about, well, we'll do it all. So the ink is going onto the pad rather than the pad onto, no. The ink is going onto the stamp rather than the stamp going onto the ink. Which was a top tip from my lovely friend Gwen. So thank you, Gwen. And it does work. It really does work. Especially for these kind of stamps. You couldn't really put them into the ink. Well, you could, but it wouldn't work particularly well anyway. So let's just make sure that is well inked up. There we go. And now we're going to pop it on. So, I want it to roughly be in the middle. No, I don't actually. I want it to be in the middle of the photo. And I don't particularly want to get ink everywhere else. So, I am going to feed this sticker sheet, the backing of it, under here. I don't want to ink the blue paper, obviously. Let's just have a double check that's got enough ink. Can always go back and do some more if needed. And then I am going to put this down very bravely about there. And then just press firmly. I am not a stamper by any means. If that's your thing, then just Google stamping on YouTube and you will get more professional people doing it. But I am a scrapbooker who stamps, and I think sometimes we forget how hard it is for those that don't really stamp, apart from on their layouts. That's probably why I don't stamp much. I've got loads of stamps. When I was pulling this one out, I decided to pull out my Simon Hurley and Ellie Studio stamps and look at it. Like, look at these dogs. I so want to use them. And Ellie Studio, it's just incredible. I love all of it. And this isn't the half of it. Like, look at that. And that. And these are really cool as well because these pieces come out. Same for the party hats and an Ellie Studio. So, and then I've got a box full as well. I just pulled these out because they were squished in. So I definitely need to start stamping. Maybe it's a stamping series we need. Like beginner stamping by a beginner rather than for beginners. Make a bit of a fool of myself, no doubt, but at least I'll be using them. So do you guys stamp on layouts? Or are you not much of a stamper? Let me know if you have as many stamps as me. Do you have more? Do you have less? Do you not stamp? What's it all about? Any top tips for stamping on layouts? Let me know. Okay. So I love the way that looks actually. I'm really pleased we did that. Hopefully you guys agree, and it's in keeping with the inspiration, which is fab. Now I'm going to pull out this one. So this is the Stampers Anonymous by Tim Holtz. This is the ultimate grunge, and I am going to go for this one. So I've got a smaller acrylic block for this. I've not used this before, so I'm just going to wipe it there, just to make sure that we get even coverage. And for this one, I'm going to go with Mariner. Uncharted Mariner from Tim Holtz. Of course, and it's Distress Oxide. I was told that stamp's better, so I had to get a collection of them. And now I'm going to put this on top of this, which is a risk because I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to give us that grungy look, which I actually really love. So I'm glad we did that. And then what we're going to do is decide whether we want a different one up there or the same. I think the same. So I'm going to put this one up here, like this, and I'm actually going to stamp it twice. Once, like, stamp the clean image, and then the residual ink on there, and then I'm just going to wipe that with a wet wipe. I hate dirty stamps. I hate getting dirty as well. That's probably why I don't do much mixed media, which is crazy because I love doing it, but I hate the dirtiness of it. I just need to get over it. I guess it's especially oxide because it gets everywhere. It does for me anyway. So I'm pleased that I've done some stamping. These are the wipes I use. So they're water fresh and it's like allergy free, safe and all that. No idea if it's any good for stamps, so don't take my word for it, but it works for me. I am then going to pull in another stamp, and it's this one. So these are Visible Image, which is a UK company, and this is called Universal. And I think, yeah, I'm going to go for this one. So this is like a messy circle. And I'm going to do black in this just for a bit of starkness. I always forget to do it this way. I always go to put the stamp into the ink rather than the ink onto the stamp. So I'm going to put this about here, press firmly down, and there we have it. Give that a wipe. Karen does some stamping and stuff as well, so it's another nod to our Karen. So proud of that. Friends, design team, people, the whole community have got around, or got behind rather, Christy, and got involved with designing sketches because it is fabulous when you think about it. Then I've got my tabby dots, tabby dots, tabby dots. Sounds like a kids' TV show. Tabby dots. It's a bit like Tots TV. Then I'm going to use this arrow flare, which is from one of our recent travel releases. So it's just basic arrows. And I'm going to put that inside there. Like so. And that is that little piece up there. So I've kind of gone off-piste up there, but I think I've stuck quite well to the sketch for me. Now I did consider adding another one of these, or maybe even under there, but I don't think we need that, so I am going to set that aside. Then I am going to pull out some gloss spray. So this is Dina Wakley acrylic gloss spray in marine, and we're going to use that where it tells us to on the sketch. Sorry, you wouldn't have been able to hear me then. Where it tells us on the sketch, so here and here. These are so good because they just slot back into their holder and they're ready to go away. Bish, bash, bosh, as they say. As they say. Okay. First of all, I do want to see if there are any other embellishments we would like to add. I'm not sure I want to add much more, if I'm honest. I know you are at the right channel. That is me saying that. I'm going to add that anchor there. So we've got a lot of blue with our paper, so a lot of our embellishments are red. And I think that it really works. Then let's pop a couple of hearts. Like so. We've got the brads, but I don't think I'm going to add any of that. We do have the sticker book, but again, I'm not sure we need it. I do love these though. I wish I could add one of them, but I really don't need that. Like, I would love to add this, but it's like a direct replica of what is already on that card, so we don't need it, which is fine. Bon voyage. I can always find room for a phrase sticker. So let's pop that there. Oh, I do apologise for the coughing. I am going to add a couple of enamel dots in our usual fashion. So we've got 3 there. I'm going to have 3 up here. Even though we're putting the gloss spray, I am going to add them. And then I think we'll put 3 here as well. I think that'll really... Ooh. These Simple Stories enamel dots are really, really starting to wind me up, because we pay for them and they're just being wasted. Another one gone. I know, it's not a big thing, but... Okay. And I've spread them apart in different ways. So now we're going to add some gloss spray. I'm even going to cover my desk a bit. I have got a couple of pieces on my photo. It is a gloss photo, so I'm just going to wipe that off. No biggie. Come down here and let's add some here. And I think that is going to do it. Here is our sketch and here is my version. I think that's probably one of the closest I've stuck to. What do we think? Do I get a pass there? Okay, and then to finish off, I'm going to try it. Let me try it on a test piece. I've seen somebody do this before. It's a good job I did the test piece. Like a line of Nuvo. This might ruin it. So like that, and we'll add one in each colour. So this one is red berry, and this one is midnight blue. So my thinking there is, it's like, do you know when you write a letter and then you go like that? I put like 2 lines, and it's just that final touch for me. That's going to do it, guys. So please don't forget to check out Karen's YouTube channel, which I will try to remember to leave a link to in the description box below. I know it gets a bit boring reading them, but do pop there and see what Karen's up to. I don't know whether she'll have a video for this layout because it was done quite a while ago, I would imagine, because she's done an example as well. But you will be able to see her example across social media on Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life's channel. And I will be back tomorrow for day 8, which is our Rach's. And it's a busy one. Look at all that colour. Can't wait. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. So if you're watching, Karen, thank you so much for today's inspiration. It has been a pleasure. And thank you so much to Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, the creator of 30 Days of Sketches. Have fun, happy scrapping, and see you tomorrow. Bye.